Pitching. So you've got through the process and you've been invited to pitch. And this is one of the things that I find a lot of founders really struggle with. I like to break this down and keep it quite simple. And I say the goal of a pitch is to get to the next stage, whatever the next stage is. So when you are invited to that first pitch, just stop and think for a moment. You've made it through their vetting process. They've said, okay, this one looks interesting. Pardon me. What are they looking for? They're looking for fit. They're looking for chemistry. Do I like these people? Could I spend time with them? Because once you get into that equity relationship, it gets very close, very tight, and at times can be a very challenging relationship. So what is it that's the next stage? And if it's your first pitch going in, stick to your 12 slides and just tell the story, tell it honestly, tell it with heart, tell it with emotion. I know founders will always do that, but don't be afraid to do that, to share that, to make yourself vulnerable as a human being to connect with another human being. Because I know there's all sorts of horror stories about investors, but they're human beings too. So you're trying to establish rapport. You're trying to establish a relationship. You're trying to establish trust. You're trying to establish, are these the kind of people I can work with? And don't forget that it's also a two-way street. Your job, in addition to pitching your company, is to assess, what are these people like? What are these people going to be like when one of the inevitable bumps in the road happens? What are these people going to be like when we miss our revenue forecasts? What are these people going to be like when a new product development doesn't work? Because bad news will happen along the road. And you need to assess how these people are going to respond. You need to assess, am I going to be okay with these people? As one of the ladies who features in my book says, your early stage investors can be your biggest supporters, and they can also be the biggest anchor that holds you back. So don't just rush in when you've got that. Remember, it's a two-way street. But that first pitch, the goal is all about fit and chemistry. Okay. And then once you get invited back, then there will be another one. So if you're successful in that first pitch, they're going to invite you back to another one where they're going to say, right, we're going to bring in our financial experts and we're going to go all over your numbers. So you need to be ready for that. Or they might say, right, next pitch, we're going to bring in our technology expert and he or she is going to go crawl all over your code. Fine, be ready for that. Know what that is. Know what it is at each stage. But that first one is all about just telling that story in the 12 slides and establishing, is there a fit? Is there chemistry? Can we work together? And then finally, there's negotiating